Hey guys, it's Chris the Batman statue collector, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I wanted to do a little stream here. This is not live, this is pre-taped, but I wanted to talk about something that I saw on Facebook. And so I'm going to go actually right into it. I want to share this tab with you guys today, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay. So if we look at this was posed by Kevin Vincent, and he said, "How about we stop normalizing ridiculous statue prices just because some people can afford it and will seemingly pay anything?" New Luke just saying, and he's specifically talking about the Luke Skywalker from Sideshow, obviously that they revealed, which I think is actually a really cool piece. But yeah, the price point was I think like $1,500 or something like that. So it's one of those things where Kevin's not wrong. We do tend to normalize this stuff. And so I thought it'd be interesting just to talk a little bit about like people's comments, and just kind of go from there. So Andy says the overwhelming opinion is that it's very overpriced. However, prices will only rise more and more. It's a rich person's game. Do you guys agree with that? I think that there are certain companies still, I mean, to be the devil's advocate, I always try to, and you guys know, I always try to like see both sides of the coin, right? Yes, there are certain companies that nickel and dime. And there's certain companies that I really like to do that, that have, padded shipping and everything else in between, right? So I think it's one of those things where there are a lot of those companies, but there are a few still out there that are trying to offer a decent price. Now, with the tariff situation that we're in, I think those prices are going to continue to climb. So I think Andy is exactly right. Kevin says, I'm aware, unfortunately, but certain pieces lately should be called out for the ridiculous asking price. They're truly pricing out the real collectors. Patrick says it's a business, and it's a business for something non-essential. They're here to make money, not make collectors happy. I kind of disagree with that. They are absolutely, that's their main mission, to make money. But at the end of the day, too, they have to make their collectors happy or no one will be buying it, right? So it is a fine balance. So long as money is coming in, why would they change? It's also part of the cost of business these days. Everything from employee salaries, cost of materials and labor, shortage fees, shipping tariffs, shipping fees, tariffs, and licenses all add up. It sucks. I'll give you that. It's become a rich man's hobby. Again, all valid points. Kevin says, Andy says, I see your point. However, all money is the same, no matter if it comes from real collectors. They can still make money without pricing this out. Most of us in catering to the elite level collector, and there is unethical practice of overcharging shipping. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting over a cold. Got that tickle in my throat. Sorry about that. Seems like that always happens when I start filming. But anyway, unethical practices of overcharging shipping. I still think that happens, and it sucks. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. That's the problem. I mean, I guess the biggest thing is we could just stop buying, right? Patrick says, none of us know their finances or expenses. As statues get more detailed and complex, the cost was already going up compared to early statue collecting days. Multiply that by everything I already pointed out. And devil's advocate, they don't need to follow any ethical practices as long as it's all legal. I mean, that's the thing is what they're doing legal? I think a lot of companies are doing legal things, right? They're paying for the licensing, which is a lot of money. But again, it's goodwill though, right? You want to have a good image. And if you have a crappy image, there's going to be a lot of people that don't buy from you anymore, right? Kevin says it is what I believe. Greed is involved in taking advantage of loyal customers. Again, I think you're right. Jeff Morris, man, the man with the mug. We miss him on Rogues Gallery Live. Keep your cards and letters coming so we can get him back on the show. But he says, this is exactly what I said when they took advantage during COVID and started overcharging for shipping. They saw what they could charge, whatever, and still sell stuff. Now they're going to keep raising prices till the bow breaks and everyone finally has enough and stops paying these insane prices. It's already gone past the point of regular collectors being able to buy stuff to just continue paying these prices and pretending to somehow justify its insanity, but here we are. Lex Ledger says that's the problem. People need to stop buying. That's why I do think people need to not buy anything right now, and they will be forced to lower their prices. If no one's buying and the demand isn't there, they'll have to lower. That is true. Or, I mean, they're going to go out of business, right? We all know they're making ridiculous profit, and there's no way that the cost of making these have gone up as much as they're saying. But with Prime One, people just keep paying even though they complain. Yeah, again, I'm one of them. A lot of people agree with Jeff's points. Kyle says that new Luke is $500 overpriced. Ed Bradley, a great painter in the hobby. Give a shout out to Ed. I think there are several things that need to stop being normalized in the hobby, but on the other hand, art is subjective. So it's hard to speak for the minority or the majority on any given subject. And that's very well said, Ed. Art is subjective, what somebody wants to pay. Again, if you were used to buy 5 statues a year and you could afford that, and now you have to pick and choose if you want to spend that same amount of money on one statue, what's worth it to you? Sanjay says, is there a single human being who thinks Luke's prices make sense? And if so, point it to me so I can laugh at how dumb they are. Now, I don't think that Luke's price is necessarily crazy dumb. It does seem overpriced, but at the same time, it does have a light up. But other statues at that same price point has as well. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I wish we had insight, because I think that some of these things do cost a lot of money. This is more of a diorama. It's not just a premium format on the stand. So I just don't know. I just don't know. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Matt says it's large and complex. It's expensive, yes, but not totally unwarranted. There are a lot more than scale that goes into a statue. I'm still considering one. Christopher Bain says I don't pre-order anything anymore. Anything I buy in the future will be below retail in the aftermarket. Price seems, this is from Kyle, the price seems especially bad considering how the LBS prices are coming out. The LBS Wolverine Premier is larger scale. With 6 portraits, it manages to be $100 more than this. Jonathan, prices aren't going anywhere but up. It's always been the case. What has to change if we want to stay in this hobby is our collecting habits. Unfortunately, collectors are being forced to become very selective, and that's exactly right. They really are. A+ collectibles, that's the difference. To some, it's a hobby. To people like me, art is a passion and a lifestyle that comes with 35 years of experience. Even when I collected, I never looked at statues as nostalgic, but instead looking for pieces that I could look at from top to bottom and know that some serious love and hard work went into creating it. And that's true. I mean, again, it really just comes down to, the art being subjective, right? And what is worth it to you in the long run? So I have always been somebody that has beat the drum to promote this hobby, right? Again, sorry for my throat. But there's been so much negative that creeps in, that has continued to creep in, and it does suck. Are the companies going to have to pivot at some point? I think they already are to some degree, but it still has a lot of room for improvement. And again, I feel like if they don't pivot, and again, I think that some companies have already started doing that, like Sideshow a couple years ago. They let a whole bunch of people go. Like a lot of their social media people, they're all gone. They don't go to conventions. They're not having to pay that money to go to conventions, so they're saving money where they can, because I think they saw kind of the writing on the wall. We're seeing companies again possibly folding. So I think that now is the time to pivot. But I think that the main reason that this is a rich man's hobby, again, the quote there, is I think that that's who they feel like they only have left. are the people that can still afford these things. I feel like they've given up on the casual person. What do you guys think? Again, this is the ramblings of a BSC with a, a cough, clear my throat. Sorry, guys. But I just wanted to chat about it because I thought it was interesting what people were posting in the group. I'd love to hear your take. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the back cave. Bye, everybody.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.